Yeah, this is a pretty interesting case of lateral movement where on the left-hand side, you can kind of see the prep for the lateral movement, right? They're doing the enumeration to kind of see what's available. They're running PSExec, they're opening up RDP ostensibly to move laterally with it. On the right-hand side, what you're seeing is actual commands from PSExec, um, where they're actually using PSExec to enumerate the domain admins group. And I'm pretty sure this was actually on a domain controller. And this kind of speaks to maybe a little bit of a disappointing dynamic that we see in that we don't see a lot of failed lateral movement. I think that's a really interesting topic, right? Like when we hear about lateral movement, we kind of assume that it's going to be successful. And I really do wish that we saw a lot more failed attempts at lateral movement. So the workstation kind of says like, hey, you don't have this particular login right, or the time of day isn't right for this account to be logging in, or the password doesn't work. But unfortunately, we just don't see that at all, actually. So once the threat actor is kind of like inside your network, it becomes kind of like a less friction environment. There's very little stopping them from grabbing credentials and moving laterally, which is why when we start to see this kind of lateral movement, we will usually isolate the entire network just out of an abundance of caution for the most part. Because yeah, we just I wish we had, and this is actually probably if there's any like budding researchers out there, this might be an interesting kind of research topic to look at. Threat actors failing to move laterally. And again, I really wish we saw more of that in our environment, but we don't. Once a threat actor has a hold in the environment and has a set of credentials, especially as I mentioned earlier, if there are local admin credentials that are kind of shared across the network, there's just very little friction preventing them from moving laterally, from grabbing tools like PSExec or even using RDP internally to move laterally. So this is a definite like unfortunate dynamic for sure.